Hi, this is Robert with Pioneer Smokehouses, and today we're going to be using the Masterbuilt Gravity Series 560 to do some chicken legs, and we're going to do a country vegetable au gratin. It's kind of an interesting take here, and I'll go over that with you in a minute. So first thing that we have done is that we've brought the smoker up to temperature, and it's just finishing smoking off a little bit. When you first start it, it puts out a lot of smoke, and you can see that it's kicking smoke out the back there, and just like that. And look at that. Smoke smells good, so I think we're good to go. You don't want your smoke to smell like, I don't know how to explain it, like burning. Like, you want it to be nice and clean. So I took some chicken legs and I seasoned them, and then I let them sit for an hour. I use a pretty standard seasoning, but if you want to use a packaged seasoning or something like that, that's completely up to you. What I use is smoked paprika, granulated garlic, pepper, and then a little bit of the Spice Hunter Cajun seasoning. And if you can see there, I'm using all Spice Hunter seasonings today. And also, I try to use granulated garlic whenever possible. I like the consistency better. So, we set the racks into the middle, which I consider the smoker position. And because of my experience with the other smoker, we're going to load this to the side with the firebox first, so this space it just a little bit. Put them as close to the middle, the meat side, to the middle as possible. We're just going to kind of lay it in there. I have to mention one more thing, that I did spray them down with a little bit of olive oil spray first, because I want to avoid having them stick as much as possible, and it's easier to spray the meat than it is to spray the rack. I usually do the same thing with the steak also. Do a little spray on it, works out pretty well. Now I'm going to take these last two and I'm going to turn them sideways and back. This one is pretty small, so I don't think it's going to matter too much about where I put it. Alright, so done with that. And those are going to be good to go. So on low temperature, they're probably going to take a couple of hours to cook well. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to start it low for the first probably 45 minutes. And then we're going to bump it up to oven temperature at about 350 for the next 30 minutes, because we really want to get the smoke flavor into them, but cook them a little bit faster and have an oven consistency. So they'll still have a great smoky flavor, but they'll be more like they were grilled. And because of this unit has the ability to both grill and to smoke, we can do that. All right, so we're back, and things are looking good. I checked on them a couple of minutes ago, and to make sure that we were ready for the next step. I hate it when you open the lid and you're like, oh, dang it, I have to start the video again. So anyway, it's only been building up for a minute or two, so let's go ahead and pop it open and see how much smoke comes out. And look at that, nice little amount of smoke. I'm sure that it'll build up a little bit more. So something, I don't know if you can see this back here at the back of the vent here, but there is a flap that runs right down the middle that's tilted slightly in. And I think that's probably to encourage airflow, so just the right amount of air circulates out to keep everything moving through and nice and clean. On any of your smokers, like a regular offset smoker, there's a little chimney, so it releases the smoke on a regular basis. And that keeps your, I don't know if you would call it fresh smoke, but a nice airflow is good for it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip each one of these. And you know what? That looks really good. So I'm going to bring that up here and show that to you. Now, it's running just a little under 300, but I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to kind of change a little bit up there so that we can get a good look at that. But that looks nice. It's just the right amount of crisp on there. And the nice thing about the olive oil that I sprayed on there is that if you see this, I'm just able to just lift them off and they're just not sticking. And that's a combination, of course, of the grates, porcelain coatings on the grates work really well. And then pop that one open. And you can hear the fan moving right along. And if you, so I can see in here, and when you're using it, you look in here, you can see a little bit of sparks coming through from the firebox. Now what we're going to do is we're going to press the temperature button, and it's set at 275 now, and we're going to bust that up to 350. So it's at 350 now, and it's cooking along really good, and the chicken looks really good. I know it's not done on the inside yet, and it's legs, so we want to get it up to about 160 on the inside to be done. So in about 15 minutes, I'll put the thermometer in there, and we'll figure out where we're at and how much longer we have to go. So I'll talk to you then.
You know that feeling you get at Christmas when you go to open your presents? It's the same feeling when you don't look inside the smoker before you start the camera. Just kidding. So I decided to go ahead and bring out my instant read thermometer. This is just a cheap little thermometer, a Thermo Pro that I bought on Amazon, and I really like it. It works great. It's really cheap, and it has the button and the folding needle, so it locks in place, and then when you're done cleaning it, you just put it back in. And then it does have a light, and so like if you're cooking at night or in the early morning, you can see it. So let's go ahead and open that up. And first off, the veggies look really, really good. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this piece right here for a temperature. It does look like one of the largest pieces. I'm trying to get in a spot where it gives me the skin easy and not hit the bone. And that looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it up just a little bit higher. And I'm just going to toast it off just a little bit here. That piece actually doesn't look like it needs toasting. That one doesn't either. So this is funny. Something that I've noticed here is that it looks like that actually it's a little warmer towards the middle in this unit than the 1050. In the 1050, it's a little warmer close to the side. But on this one, the chicken that was in the middle looks a little crispier. See that, and I guess size might have something to do with it too. I'm going to move these back to the middle a little bit. Turn the temperature up a little bit, and the veggies are bubbling a little bit better. So I think we're going to go ahead and shut that down for a second. And the temperature is definitely past safe to eat, so we're good there. And I'll go in and get the stuff that I need, a plate and a fork and a knife, and then we'll be right back. I'm just going to go through and pull all these off. Oh wow, that looks pretty good. Okay, just a minute on the bottom there. Really toasted it up, and it looks really good now. And still plenty juicy there. Alright, so let's set it down to the side here. I'm going to set these down here for a second just to let them warm up just a touch. And I'm going to take this one right here. This is a good size one, but it's not the largest. And then we're just going to cut all the way down in, and I'm just going to cut a little piece off so we can take a closer look at it. Oh boy, that, wow. So I'm going to bring this up here and see if we can get this I'm trying to get the autofocus to kick in. And you can see that there's red around the edges, all the way around there like that. And now for the final. It's certainly hot. But wow. Those are like the best chicken legs I've had in a long time. Short of having barbecue sauce on them, I don't know how they could get any better. So I'm going to let this burn off. I'm going to see if I can check in here and see how much fuel is left. Okay, so I can see the fire burning, so that means that there's less than 30 minutes worth of fuel left in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this up, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it down. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want the barbecue to go ahead and burn off the chicken off of the grill, because there's just a little bit of stuff stuck to that. Once it gets burned off, then I'll be able to just scrape it right off. And then if I wanted to, I could just put these grills right into the dishwasher. No fuss, no muss, just great. I don't think that cast iron should go in the dishwasher. I'd never do that with my pans, so I wouldn't do it with anything else. So, if you like what you've seen, I have links to everything in the description below. The first link there will be to the review article for the 560, and it will take you to my website. On the website, you'll find a lot of interesting and useful information, like reviews for other different types of smokers. If you want something easier, electric smokers are the easiest way to go, and that is where I come from. My favorite electric smoker is the Masterbuilt 40-inch, but if you're doing slow smoking things like just smoking fish or trout or something like that, it's hard to beat the Big Chief. Anyway, underneath that there'll be links to different things, items that I use, like the thermometer and the wood chunks that I'm using. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I used Western apple wood chunks today, and if you use those links, they are affiliate links, so I will get a commission, so thank you, and I appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to go eat my dinner now. Have a great day.